I want to talk to you guys about a really important topic, and that's falling in love with chiropractic. You know, my friends who aren't chiropractors often say, if you're so in love with it, why don't you marry it? Because that's who I am as a chiropractor. And I think that those of us who've really started to succeed in chiropractic, and that means to just touch more, save more, for whatever that is for us, it's because we're in love with chiropractic. And so I'm going to take you back to when I was 12, go to whatever age it was when you first fell in love. But I was in love with Greg Matthews. I wrote it on my shoes. I wrote it on my jeans. I told people. We were actually the basketball player and the cheerleader, so I'd make basketballs and pom-poms and put it on the wall, right by each other, like my pom-pom by his basketball. Because I really loved him, and I wanted to tell my parents. We didn't go anywhere, we went out, which meant nowhere. But we called each other, sometimes like 12 and 13 times a day. Because I was obsessed with him, right? We didn't work out. We did plan our wedding, but obviously that hasn't happened. So he did marry someone else, and I watched them with tears in my eyes, but I got over it. But that's what it's all about, you guys, is feeling that for chiropractic, right? And I'm going to take you through a couple quotes to just start the night, because I want you guys to understand what falling in love is all about. Because I don't think that everyone really knows, because maybe some of us have never fallen in love. Some of us had the opportunity to fall in love quite a few times, and it's just a really beautiful thing. And these three quotes, especially the third one, just really exemplify what I feel that you should feel for chiropractic. Because I love chiropractic, and I mean, obviously we're on close. I have no doubt in my mind, and no one that I come across knows what I do and knows that I love what I do, okay? And that's really what it's all about. And it doesn't matter really anything else besides that you love what you do, and when you love what you do, you found your calling. And so I want you guys to just take some time and allow yourselves to fall in love with chiropractic tonight. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just do it anyways. I'm kind of bossy. Okay, so this is a D.H. Lawrence quote. And I am in love, and my God is the greatest thing that can happen. I tell you, find someone you can fall in love with. Do it. Let yourself fall in love. If you have not done so already, you are wasting your life. Like, really let that quote just sink in, because that's really what it's all about. It's you're actually wasting your life if you've not fallen in love. Now, I'm not asking you to put chiropractic above other things, and we'll go through that in a minute. There's definitely things you need to be in love with, but there's things that you need to be in love with and give them present time conscious. So when you're with them, when you're with your office, you're there, right? And when you're with your family, you're there. So I'm not asking you to, like, go home and tell your wife or husband tonight, Happy Valentine's Day, I'm in love with chiropractic. But I'm asking you to really just absorb these quotes, and when you're in an office, be in love. And when you meet someone, like, I'll tell you the story about Mark and I a little bit at the coffee shop. Like, let them know that you're in love with chiropractic. It's okay. To be brave is to love someone unconditionally. You guys read that word unconditionally. It doesn't say to love them if you get a copay, to love them if they have good insurance, right? Love them if they need to use like a disc machine or one of those contraptions I don't know about. But without expecting anything in return, just give. That takes courage, because we don't want to fall on our faces or leave ourselves open to hurt. How many of you realize you can fall on your face with chiropractic? You're doing something weird. I mean, thank God it's not the norm, because the norm is going the wrong way. I'm so proud to be weird. I love when someone's like, you're weird. Yes. Because the norm is not what I want to be. I want to challenge you guys that you can fall on your faces. It's scary. You realize when you tell someone in your office one-on-one, you have subluxations, they can look at you like, wow, this chick's crazy. But if you're in love with that, correcting subluxations, then it's okay to say that. It was okay for me to tell everyone I was in love with Greg Matthews at 12. This is my favorite quote. I read it to Michaela a couple times before we came. For true love is inexhaustible. The more you give, the more you have. And if you go to draw at the true fountainhead, the more water you draw, the more abundant is its flow. Really think about that, because you guys, it says here, the more you give, the more you have. We all learn that. You guys, I give so much, and it doesn't ever hurt because I get so much back. And that's because I go to the fountainhead. I was reading to Michaela. This guy wrote on Facebook. I literally cried when I read it. I didn't even know what to say. Dr. Gay said, would you go to jail for chiropractic? And this guy goes through like paragraphs of psychobabble about, first he says that all chiropractic is like things that we do to people besides chiropractic. Right? Then he goes on to say that all he does is everything but chiropractic. And actually says, do we know that chiropractic is for patients? Or should they get a gym membership or eat omega-3s instead? But obviously he's not been to the fountainhead, and he doesn't have friends like I have. Does that make sense? Because I don't have any friends. I wasn't sitting in the hot tub drinking champagne going, do you think this thing works? Like, what should I talk about on Monday? Maybe I should talk about, like, like omega-3s. You just give a big fish oil presentation. I didn't say that because they would have looked at me and said, what are you talking about? Because we go to the fountainhead, we get dipped, right? Get dipped in the fountain and learn about chiropractic and convey your message. Because we all have a journey, and why I'm going to tell you my story is because a lot of people seem to think, because I've never told them, that I just opened up a practice and people walked in my doors, and ever since then, I've been seeing lots of patients, and that's not how it happened. I actually opened my practice in April of 2007 in my hometown, just on a whim. I'd broken up with my boyfriend at the time, moved home, and after a few months, my dad's like, you got your degree, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, so you're gonna live here? You're gonna open a shop in the basement? I was like, no, I'll just open up a shop. Now, I've been to Jatempos, I'd been to the mountain, I'd been to lots of places, but I often laugh because we need to learn to apply it, right? We can't just go buy something at a seminar and bring it home and go, I've got this thing, I've got cash practice. Well, there it is. Look at it. We have to actually apply these things. When we apply them, they're phenomenal. I've been in cash practice since I opened. So when we apply them, they work. But I hadn't applied anything. So from March 2007 until November 2007, I was seeing maybe 30, 40 patients a week. And I eventually in November called my best friend and said, I think I'm going to quit chiropractic. This is retarded. I absolutely hate it. I was crying. I wasn't happy. I wasn't doing well. Because I wasn't doing anything. Does that make sense? I thought that if I was open at 8 in the morning until 6 at night and never left, that people would come. That doesn't happen. And so, but I wasn't doing anything to make myself a better person. I wasn't, being the best version of myself. I was kind of being whiny, probably very irritating. And I think my parents even told me just to stop talking about it. Maybe I should have quit. But I met someone who challenged me with some of the things I'm going to challenge you with tonight, because they literally made my life into the version of myself that I am. I don't even remember those days. Like, I had to take myself there to remember them because I'm so far removed from it. But I suffer too, so I tell you that to let you know, those of you that may be suffering in this room or struggling or have struggled, right? Some of us have. That it doesn't have to be that way. And if it is now, you can change that in a heartbeat. Because from November to February, my practice was 6 times what it was. I was into the thousands a month within just a couple months. Because all I did was apply what I'm going to tell you today, and it was easy. I didn't have to buy anything. I just became the best version of myself. And that's what I would challenge you guys tonight to do, is just be the best version of yourself, because no one can do it better. And if you don't believe it, no one else is going to either. So because don't let your story be your story. A lot of times we just keep telling the same story and story over and over. We all have that patient who's like, I just got divorced. Oh, like recently? Oh, like 10 years ago. I'm always like, are you kidding me? Well, it was a bad one. Like, what could be worse about anyone? Like, they're all bad. Like, you end it, you're over, you move on. I have friends who've been divorced before, and they're not talking about it every day. They've actually maybe met someone else, But we meet that one who's like, why I paid my back because I got divorced 20 years ago. Bad one. They're all bad. It's just how bad you make it. So, and the last thing I wrote on there was your story can be your tool. You can actually use that story not as an anchor that holds you where you are, but as a tool to move you to your next position in life. And I'm going to share my story with you in a little bit. So my first question to you is, the hardest question I ever got asked was, are you in love with yourself? Well, the first thing I said was, well, yeah. But the truth was, my next question was, can you look in the mirror and say, I love you to yourself? I was like, of course I can. Because I'd always thought I loved myself, and I can remember going to the mirror and looking in the mirror and being like, and nothing really came out, because I didn't really love myself on the inside. Because, I'd always given so much to other people. And I'd never really taken care of myself. That's just who I am. Like Mark said, I'm just a giver and a lover, but now I learned to love myself and give to myself, and then my giving and loving to other people is so much more. Does that make sense? And chiropractors, we're awesome givers. We're not very good receivers sometimes. And it's that receiving that allows us to really take. This weekend I received a gift. I went to the car rental place, and she said, oh, Bella, she was this cute little Italian lady. She said, I just want to give you something. I have a special car for you. You're so beautiful. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'm thinking this is like a Lexus or something awesome, a Hummer, like cool, like some intense car. She gave me a blue Mustang convertible. And it's not blue, it's Smurf blue. I've been hit on by so many men of random ethnicities because I'm just, here I am a blonde in this blue car. And they're like, came by my car at your office in the parking, like, hey, I'm like, just because it's Valentine's Day doesn't mean I'm single. Like, I'm not looking for a boyfriend right this second. So it was a gift. I didn't know what to say. She was like, I only get to give one of these away a week. And I was like, oh, yes. Couldn't get my suitcases. I'm a diva. I couldn't get everything in the trunk. Here I am driving with suitcases popping out of this blue Smurfmobile. And I go pick up Garrett Gunnarsson. He's like, a yellow cab would have fit my style a little bit better. Can't get the top up. Couldn't get the windows up. It was awesome, but it was a gift. And she was so happy. She was hugging me, and I took that gift, and I drove that gift. Now, I'll drive you in that gift if you'd like to come to the Hubbards. That's on me, too. So you guys, the first thing is if you're going to love someone else, you got to love yourself. But so many people, we want someone else to love them because what? Us, because we want them to give us that, don't we? Well, if they love me and I love them, that's all it takes. But you guys have to love yourself because no one else can give you that fulfillment. And that's a hard one to accept, especially like, you know, on Valentine's Day, we have to understand, like, if we're not loving ourselves, we're not loving our spouse the way that we should. You know what I mean? And when we love ourselves, we can love our significant other. So if you guys don't think it, others won't think it. You know, my practice members, when they come in, they're like, I'm having a bad day, I'm a terrible person. I'm like, don't talk about my friend that way. Because why would you talk to yourself that way? Why would you say you're stupid? Well, yeah, people say it all the time, don't they? You're not stupid, you made a mistake, or not even a mistake, you just did something that you would have rather had done differently. So start to realize how you talk to yourself, because that's really crucial. I used to be really hard on myself, and I'm really still really hard on myself, but in a really healthy way, where I don't beat myself up. Like, realize your own self-worth. That's a huge one, you guys. You're worth so much. You know, like we tell our patients, right? They take care of their cars, but not themselves. Well, are we taking care of ourselves, meaning are we going to do some things tonight that I recommend to really fill ourselves back up? Because when you're giving like we give, it hurts sometimes, doesn't it? Sometimes after a long day of work, I go home and I'm like, did that just happen? Like, what just happened? But I just have to take a second, get recentered, and fill myself back up, whether it's read a book or, you know, pick up my life book or something to fill myself back up. Because there are days, like, no one's perfect. There's days you give so much, you're like, wow, I didn't even know I had that much to give. And we can give a lot, and we still have it in us, but it's like we got to refuel that, you guys. You know, pet a dog, go on a walk, like look at God's nature, do something, but give yourself something back. So the other thing I really think is important is we find a passion. So like, why do you do what you do? Like, what stops you from hitting the alarm every time in the morning when you have to get up at 5 in the morning? I get up at 5 in the morning every morning, and I have a why. And that's really what I want to talk to you guys about is your why. And I want you to get crystal clear on your why. So this is a picture of my mom. I don't have a recent picture of my mom because my mom died when I was 2 years old. It was actually 2 years and 4 months. My mom collapsed on my birthday. And so I tell you that because my why, my mom got pregnant in February of '79 on Valentine's Day, as a matter of fact. Congratulations, Mom and Dad. And so she got pregnant on Valentine's Day, and I was born in December of '79. And then she got pregnant, I believe, like, well, not shortly after, because then she had my brother in '81. So how long do you think she was under medical doctor's care? 3 years, right? So 5 months after my brother was born, she collapsed, taking me to make my birthday cake. So we got rushed to the hospital, and they checked her out, and she was fine. She had it dropped an ovary. That's literally what the diagnosis says, that she dropped an ovary, and that caused her to pass out. So that didn't resonate well with my uncle who was in med school, so we drove up as a family to Chicago. And from that point, they opened up my mother, and her entire reproductive and digestive system was filled with cancer. And they flew her to Key West, and I saw her one day before she died. And I tell you that story not for any other reason, because that's a part of my story. It doesn't hold me back, it propels me. That's my why, okay? Because what if she would have been checked? Because she ate a healthy diet. I've inquired. She worked out. You know, at that time it wasn't like aerobics was just becoming big, but she went on walks with the neighborhood women, and she was active with us. She was a teacher. She didn't smoke. She didn't drink. Didn't take drugs. She took vitamins. So was she living a healthy lifestyle? All but what? She wasn't under chiropractic care. She'd never been checked. So, you know, when I do wine talks for people, or I bring their patients together, or patient appreciation dinner, I often tell that story because I say it's not important that you get care, it's important that you get checked, because my mom was never checked. So that's my why. So every morning, you know, on a morning where I think, I don't want to get up, it's rainy, or, you know, where I live, it was negative 25 the day before I left with the wind chill. You people have no idea if you've never left here what that feels like, but don't ever tell me again, it rained for 3 days. It snowed for 4, and I couldn't open my practice for 3 because I shoveled 21 inches of snow. 21. That's 2 feet. Yeah, a guy actually had a heart attack in my town. That's how small my town is. A guy had a heart attack. Like they tell you, like, you know, I actually knew who it was too.
Just say Bob.
Huh?
Just Bob.
No, Mr. McDonald. I was like, oh, God, Corey's dad. I'm like, yeah, Corey's dad died. I mean, like, everybody knows who everybody is, but that's what happens. Shelving snow, and that's the state of our society right now. So you guys create balance. And I'm going to tell you this because a lot of us are imbalanced. It's really awesome to me if you have a great practice, but you have nothing else in your life. And balance was a huge thing for me. Like, I needed to create balance because that's how I function best. I need to have myself spread out evenly and not center focused. Because, I mean, I can be obsessive about things. That's why I have to be, like, Mark and I are laughing about it. So I have to be regimented. I mean, I would probably be addicted to drugs if I didn't have a great lifestyle because I'm just wild. Like, I would just think it was awesome and just be the best, like, druggie in the world. But I had to stay centered. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm an extremist. So, like, thank God I like to work out, you know, and not crystal meth because it would probably be a really bad thing. But I mean, you guys are like a really tough crowd. It's like 30 of you. Just like take turns laughing. Thank you, Miles. Okay. So, I'm gonna try it. So the first thing is you know, you just have to give time to yourself. You know that, right? I think that's really important. A lot of times we forget that part. But I do mine, like I get at 4:45 and I start mine until 6 o'clock. That's my time for myself. And I spend time by myself, not on the phone or anything else. And I just spend time getting centered, you know, read my Bible, look at my life book, and read a really good book, and just get present time conscious for what's about to happen, right? Because I have to be the best version of myself, or what's the point of going to the office, right? If I just show up to them, oh, I just really gotta, I'm sure my patients aren't going to be happy to see me, but I'm the person they expect to see. They expect me to be present to give them that adjustment, to find their subluxations, not to be asleep. What's going on? Oh, Betty. Oh, sorry, you're not Betty. You know, you gotta kind of start to know who they are, right? And then what about spending some time with God? You know, that's what I do also in the morning. Just get really centered and make sure that I'm focused because, you know, God moves through you and to them, right? God moves through us. So, and what about family time? I mean, no marriage where anyone's been married to their practice has ever succeeded. You have to do that, you know. And I mean, for me, like dating, that's a big thing. I had to spend time dating so that I can do the marriage and the family thing. Chiropractic, we've talked about that. And then with your health, like, do you look like a chiropractor? Sometimes I go to offices where they invite me because like, you're healthy, we want you to come talk to our patients, and he's like 300 pounds. I'm like, I mean, they see the difference. Like, you don't look like someone you would want to, you know. I always think it's a great compliment when I say, why did you pick me? I found you on the phone, but you'll tell me. Because I live in a town with 150,000 people and 90 chiropractors. 3 of us are purpose-driven, and like 4 of us are healthy. And I'm not being serious. Like, since I've been there, one guy blew out his back and had back surgery. Another guy died, had a heart attack. And another guy just quit practicing because he weighed too much. I'm very serious. That's the lifestyle, the place where I practice. You know, we were laughing about nano greens. My practice was like, they're green. I'm like, yeah, green, that's good for you. No, we eat white. That's what we eat there. Like, we have a little health food store. Our health food store could fit in here twice. And people are like, oh, you shop at the cool place. The cool place. I mean, I could spend all night about where I live. And at the end, I'll actually do a comedy show about it because it's like living in another planet. You know, I mean, it's awesome that they think that like Walmart is where you should buy your food. They think I'm ridiculous. But we don't have organic at Walmart. We don't have anything gluten-free at Walmart. We're just about to get it though. Someone put a request in. So you have to make a request, and then they'll write you back. That's how small my town is. So like I was saying, would you be your own chiropractor? And don't lie to yourself. I know some people, I'm like, I would not let them adjust me. I just wouldn't, because it's my spine. And I don't know how they feel that other people who don't know about chiropractic want to go to them. Because just like, you know, you can smell a liar a mile away, you can smell a chiropractor who is kind of a weird situation. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So what's your personality? Like, people love that I'm open with them and love on them and hug on them because how many of you have seen those chiropractors like, hello, it's really nice to meet you. That's just awkward. They take them in the back, and my practice members tell me, because I say, what was it like? You know, what was it that you didn't like? They shut them in a room, they come back in, and then, you know, they're really serious. And they give a presentation that the person doesn't understand. And then they do something that they haven't explained that looks scary, it looks like something out of a movie. Don't worry, just lay down, I'm just going to twist your neck. You know, I've even heard people say, well, my doctor says he's going to crack my back. It's like, what's your personality? Like, what are you saying to your patient? What's your bedside manner? What's your office look like? You know, getting to go to people's offices, you know, people just find me on Facebook and say, come to my office. I walk in, I'm like, wow. You know, I mean, some things are very strange. I mean, I've seen offices painted multicolors. I've seen, like Patrick talks about weird pictures on the wall. Like, you know, different kinds of pictures that don't match, different sizes. I've seen all kinds of like shag carpet. I've seen tables with holes in them. And I just stand there and I'm like, I don't know if I should tell this person this is awkward. I mean, I don't know what I should say right now because I don't know if they know what I know because I don't know why they would do that. And then what about your staff? I mean, sometimes I'm just appalled at people. I don't know what's wrong with their practice. So I go to their practice, and then our CA's like, hey, heard you're doing a talk. At your office. Yeah, some people are probably coming. I gotta go. Oh, I'm so tired. I mean, that's to me. They're probably giving me their best foot forward. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's their game face. And I'm like, wow, what are you doing to the patients, you know? And then your adjusting style. I don't mean like if you use activator things. I mean, are you actually focused, or are you like, oh, I gotta go to the grocery store. Oh, I gotta do things. It's Valentine's Day. You know, and like, are you focused though, right? Because you have a really, really awesome rule. You get to correct subluxations and find them. But if you're thinking about other things, you're not gonna do that. And people know when you're not thinking. They know when you're not centered in on them. So get laser focused and be present time conscious. That means, like I tell my staff PTC, are you present in the moment right now? Like, you're absolutely present. Because if you're not present in the moment when you're answering the phone, you're going to miss something. You're going to miss her say something that's a big clue for us. You're going to miss something that you can say to her to make sure that she gets it. So you guys, present time conscious is a really big one, and it's hard. And you guys educate your patients, because if you don't do it, they're going to go somewhere like to WebMD. Like WebMD has a health zone. It's like, get your blood pressure checked, get your meds rechecked. You know, it's not like go get adjusted and eat a piece of fruit. It's like do all these random things, and if you don't tell them, someone else is going to. So would you rather be you or them? And don't be afraid. I love it when I find something really weird and I get to tell them. Like I find a new weird gum, or like I now use a toothpaste that's a powder. My toothpaste isn't even real. Like, because I like to tell them weird things so they understand that I'm going to do it and I want them to get weird. Because if they do the norm, what's the norm? Old, crippled, broken, alone. The norm is not happy and vibrant. It's old, crippled, broken, alone. So you guys, be a billboard for chiropractic. Like, so Gottlieb and I go to get a coffee at 7 in the morning, and we pull up to the thing, and he goes like, hey. I'm like, hey. I'm like, why do you do this? To provide for my family. And he's like freaking out because he doesn't know what I'm going to do right now. Like, pull her to the car and kidnap her. But I'm like, but do you really do it for that? Or is that just what happens because you do what you do? So he tips her just in case I do something weird. He's like, here's some money just in case this goes weird. I'm like, thanks God. The girl's like scared. And I'm like still, you know, done. I've still got John Perry ankle in my ears. And so I'm like, listen though, do you do this because you get to have an impact on people's lives every day? Like you get to give them a cup of coffee and unfortunately like wake them up and get their day started. You're the first person that some of these people see. Sometimes the only person that some people see and that care about them, right? All of a sudden she's just like, oh man, yeah, I love working in the window. Like, I'm so happy, I'm so giddy, I like rock out. And like by the end, she's like, I love my job. I'm like, dude, it might be your calling. You're the best barista in the whole US. I mean, she was like on fire. I'm like, do you know a position he's hiring? I mean, she was awesome, but do you guys do that? Do you know what I mean? Like when I go to my Starbucks place, I always say, what do you guys do? You do, oh, hi, Dr. Martha, because we get to change people's lives. I mean, they just know. And I'm there. The manager's already talked to me. He's like, I had to find out who you were. I think he thought I was like some kid being strange, but get to know people in your community, because where do you think they're going to go for Starbucks? The Starbucks people are going to go to me, right? Oh, Dr. Martha, she's the one that gets really weird at the drive-in. You know, she goes to the weird shop. And so become that person, because you guys don't have to spend a ton of money. You have it inside of you. I don't spend a lot of money on marketing at all. I just get out in the community and do things, right? I just go out and talk to people and act weird. It serves me well. And you would be surprised because people don't talk to people. I often say, like, I wonder if I walked around with a middle finger up, if anyone even noticed. Because people just, you know, I've started saying weird things to people. Like, they'll say, how are you? I'm like, it's not Friday. And they're like, I know. I'm like, oh, well, I'm having a good day, though. And just because that catches their attention. Because get noticed. Get out there in the community. Because people love it. They want to smile. Just say something weird to them. Like, I have like 10 lines I just throw out there. Like, I'm so stupendous, it amazes me. I can't even believe it. And they just stare at me for a second. I'm like, I'm a chiropractor. Like, I get a new patient like 1 out of 10 times. Or they'll tell me, like, someone will say, my friend met you and said that was so weird what you said, but I should come here. Awesome. Because I don't want normal people. They freak me out. So wear your logo all over town. People are like, oh, you're the blinged out circle girl. Like, I'm the blinged out circle girl. I threw the first pitch. It was awesome. I'm so glad it wasn't video because I almost hit that turtle. It was supposed to catch it. It literally went by the turtle's head. I'm not really a softball player, but I ran it up the whole field and I told anyone that came, and I mean, it was like, well, where I live, it's cheaper to do stuff like that. But I gave everyone a foam finger and said chiropractic's #1. And it was so much fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, all kinds of my practice members came and brought their friends, and we ran around with the kids. It was just a really good time. And I even had them get carrot sticks for that day to have as little treats. Like, this is a great idea. Just so you know, if you guys actually tell your kids that they have a chiropractic story, and then you give them a, like, chiropractic t-shirt, they will tell everyone. So, like, every kid I have, like, once their story comes true, I tell them. And if I say to them, what's your story, they'll say, like, I have a kid who had torticollis. He said, well, my head was stuck, and I could do this, and it's unstuck, and I get adjusted. Now, the mom can then explain it, right? So he tells everybody, he's like, Dr. Martha, I was at the dentist, and I told her how my head was stuck, and it's unstuck, and I gave her a card. I'm like, thank you. Awesome, because, well, she tilted his head, right? And he's like, oh, don't put my head there, it'll get stuck, and my chiropractor got it unstuck. So, but you guys, do we empower them? Like, I have relationships with my children. I was having a conversation with Jen Cutley's like, I don't think he gets it, and I'm like, oh, they get it. If you talk to them like that, they get it, because they've never been talked to like that. So they're like, this is so awkward, and they better listen, you know, this is serious people words, and they'll repeat it, but, you know, I put this shirt in subluxated called Dr. Martha, and I invite them to whatever health fair I'm at, and they run around in it, and I have them pass out flyers. Like, what a great idea. And they're like, what's subluxated? Because, like, get adjusted. And then they obviously come to my booth because it's the weirdest thing that's happened to them at, you know, a women's health fair. But you guys utilize the kids in your practice, because I see 150 a week, and honestly it's because they refer each other. They will tell me things like, Bobby pees the bed. I told him about you. Well, then Bobby goes home, and what does Bobby say? You know, like, Tommy didn't pee the bed. We had to go do that. And they bother the parents, you know, and I say, don't, just keep on it. And then I reward them, you know, keep on it, get 2 stickers. And then we have a subluxation celebration, which this is the best and worst idea I ever had, because one time a year, we don't tell you when, we have a subluxation celebration where we celebrate the removal of subluxation. And you can get tickets. And if you refer your friends, you can get tickets. So you can win an iPod or a limo ride with Dr. Martha to a restaurant. And that's a big deal, just so you know. You can invite 5 of your friends or your family. And these kids will save up their friends, bring them to the office to make sure they get appointments to get tickets in the drawing. And it's the funniest thing to see. Like, my patients want to help their kids do this because they love it, right? The mom will come in, the kid will come in, the mom just looks like she's so mad. She's so mad that some crazy lady told some kid who told some kid. Because that's how I get a lot of my practice members, is my kids. The parents aren't as great at it. Just being honest, the kids are awesome. And they want to talk about it because they love it, because guess what? I love them. I have a crush. His name's Damien. He's 7. He's the one with the stuck neck, and he said to me, I'm so in love with you. And I said, well, why? Well, my head got unstuck. And I said, well, that's a good reason. And so we had a long talk about being in love. He's like, well, I would be in love with anyone who got my head stuck and stuff. I'm like, let's find a man with torticollis and send him over here. If anyone's head stuck, speak with me afterwards. So you guys, this is another great idea. Moms listen to moms. They don't listen to us because we're weird and we want to hurt their babies. Like, that's what they view it as. Like, moms that don't know about it. So I had onesies made, and I loved it. And I actually sell them now because they're so popular, because moms want to have the onesie then. But you can't have the onesie unless you get adjusted. Moms are weird like that. If anyone's a mom, you know about how you get sometimes. Like, you have to have the onesie. Well, you got to get your kid checked to get the one onesie, and then you get another onesie if you get them adjusted. These moms are like, I got to do this. I got to, okay, what do I do? Sign here? How much is it? Okay, got to get the onesie. I mean, it's like, yeah. It's like $100 to get the onesie. Like, well, they don't care. They don't care because they have to have the onesie. So start utilizing the things in society that are real. Like, these are all things that we pretend like don't happen. I just started utilizing people the way that they're used to functioning. Like, they have to have things. Kids have to tell stories.
What is the butt of the...
Oh, what does it say? Yeah, I'll go back. Oh, there it is. Oh. Somebody loved me enough to have my nervous system assessed. The other reason I did that, I'm glad you brought that up, because the moms, I used to have I love my chiropractor in my first adjustment. So the mom would say, then they asked me what it was and I forgot. So I put on the butt so they'd have something to talk about, and the mom couldn't remember. So mom's like, I didn't know, and she was looking at me, I was waiting, so I said, I don't know. You know, because they get nervous, right? So this one was a really good tool. And we have a couple versions of them, but they're really awesome because first of all, they want the collection. And they've said things like, I had 3 kids and I only got 2 onesies. Because we have t-shirts too. So, I mean, it's something that they want, and awkwardly enough, they're going to go crazy about having them. Because communication's key. And in chiropractic, we're lacking communication between each other, within the profession, and in our practices. Like, I mean, I sit down there and I explain what's going to happen. Because if you really think about it, if you put yourselves in their shoes, it's kind of scary, right? I didn't like my first adjustment. I went to see Uncle Nick, my dad's friend. I hurt my knee. He put me down, he put Easton on my knees, both of them. I only hurt one, I don't know, I'm sure, because we had good insurance. And so he put him on both knees. I mean, I'm being honest. And so then he put his hands on my neck and was rubbing my shoulders. And then it was like something out of a movie. And I cried, because I was 12. And so my dad's an attorney. So of course, being an attorney's kid, I was like, we should sue him. My dad's like, no, that was an adjustment. I was like, I'm never doing that again. Never say never, because I'm a chiropractor. But I said, I'm never doing that again, because no one told me what that was. So I've always pledged that I would never do that to someone. I sit down and explain exactly what I'm going to do. Take a deep breath if you have to relax. If you feel nervous, let me know, because we have to communicate like that. I have people who say, don't touch my neck. The first day they get their neck adjusted, they never look back, because I explained to them, because what they see is on the movies. They see that 2.5 Men. Do not watch that show. Have you seen that show? Really? I've written so many letters. I've written 10. I'm going to keep writing them. I'm like, this is completely obscene. Do not put this on the air. Because my practice members who watch it tell me, Dr. Martha, that's so bad. If you see it, he like does this stuff, and he's a complete loser. He has to borrow money from everyone. He takes NyQuil and Sudafed and like literally karate chops people's necks. Where are you going? I'm her best friend. I'm leaving. Awesome.
You're going pee.
So, you guys speak like as not a DC to a DC. Like, people will come and say, oh, I've got something terrible with my back. I have like a spondylosis something in my back, and it's like terrible. And it's like 6 degrees this way and 4 degrees that way, and impinging 2 things. And they stare at me because they're scared. I mean, I get scared when they relate it back to me. You know, they'll tell me things like, he put orange mustard on my back. It's like some kind of ultrasound gel, but they don't, it's like, it was orange, it was mustard, they like rub it on. I mean, explain what you're doing. They're not special, they get it. Basically, tell them what you're doing. Don't tell them in our words, you know, don't say this is like, you know, arnica gel. But tell them this is something that's going to really help you with your pain. And explain what it is then, and tell them it's arnica gel. Because that just doesn't happen enough in our profession, and I know that because people actually hire me to come to their practice and educate their patients. They don't know what they're doing, because they're scared, or they didn't get taught, or they're afraid to learn, or they're afraid to say, because it does sound weird. You know, one of the reasons that I created this t-shirt company I have is because I thought it would help CAs not feel so weird walking out into a healthcare and be like, hi, I'd like to check you for subluxations. Would you like to get adjusted? It's awkward to people who don't know what it is, right? But there's ways to create that, like the shirts that my staff wears have sayings on them. And that once people, they want to come up to them. My staff doesn't have to chase them down like, come to my booth. Let me touch your neck. You know, it's like so awkward, you know, and in our society, it's not the norm yet. Especially where I live, you guys. I mean, where I live, I'm living such a different lifestyle, and I love it. I just try to do it more weirder and weirder and get bigger and bigger, because eventually now I have a place that people go to, right? And the people that should be there, like the people that are here tonight should be here. The people that come to my practice, they should be there. You guys, when I learned the 4 personalities of people, do you know everyone's not the same? Yet we talk to them like they're the same. I was telling him, like, with my cash planes, once I learned this, I sold cash planes left and right. Because, like, when you have an amiable, who's that person that calls in, so you know, that's the one who calls in and says, hi, this is Mary. I need the first available appointment, but don't rush. Don't interrupt your schedule. Whenever you have available, I'm in extreme pain, but I'll do whatever it takes to make you happy and not myself. Right? They want to hear good things about themselves. So that's the person that when they come into your office, you say, hey, Mary, you're the best. You're the best patient. You're always right on time. I love when you come in and you wobble and you lay down face down and you pay your bills. And that's the person who's like, I got to do that every day, right? But if you said to Mary, hey, Mary, get over there and get on the table right now, she'd be like, wow. But we do that because we don't take time to realize our practice members' personalities. And my staff does that from the first phone call. And then we track it throughout the report of findings so we can find out exactly who they are so we can tailor to them. You know, Like, I learned a lot about the Ritz-Carlton experience to make sure that my patients have a Ritz-Carlton experience and I know everything about them and who they are and what drives them. So then you have your analytical. I'm the farthest thing from an analytical, so this is my hardest thing because I'm an expressive through and through and a driver. I have no analytical in me. This is the person who wants to know what percentage of their nerves impinge and how long it will take for the red to decrease to blue and the blue to go to green, and when they can expect to have full function, and how many studies I've read on it. So I just get so much information for this person that I freak them out. And they're like, thank you. And I don't even know what I said. Sometimes I just say studies. I just have a bunch of studies right now. I don't even know what they're about, so I hope I never get called out on it. So I just say a bunch of studies, because this is what they need to fill them.
Did you get them from Hubbard?
I'm not telling my source. And then there's your driver. Like, I have this guy, Rick, who comes, he's like, I gotta get in right now. I gotta go in, I gotta get in. And everything is right now. So when you give them like a report of findings and you go through like 45 minutes, they're the person who wants to know, here's your subluxation, you gotta get it fixed now. Everyone else paid me full for a year. Do it. They're like, awesome. So talk to them that way. Don't sit there and go, hey Rick, how you doing? Get out of here. Because Rick's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go find someone down the road who pop me. And that's what they do. They go find someone who will just pop them because it'll be in and out, right? So tailor yourself to them, you guys. And then there's the expressive, like these are my favorite because this is why I'm like, hey, you have a subluxation. It's like this, it's pinching a nerve. Ow. You know, like I do a little presentation for them because they get it. You know, they do. And like, if you don't, like, I mean, I know now why some subjects in school, like biochemistry, I was like, someone's got to get me out of here. Like, I need a crib or something to get out of here. I mean, it was just terrible because it was all about being analytical. And analogies. I'm going to show you my favorite analogy. I feel like I should sell this one on eBay because it's such a great analogy. So when I do wine nights and patient appreciation dinners, someone always stands up and says, I'm completely scared to go to a chiropractor and my mom's head popped off. And they stare at me. And like, you know, just like you guys, no one's laughing anyways, and so it's already awkward. And then now someone's challenging me. So I had to think of something good to say. So I'm at a wine night with my friend Heath, and I knew Heath said to do whatever I wanted, so I won't try it here. So I said, can I just ask you about sex for a second? And she just like stared at me. So let's talk about sex. And all like, there's like half the women were drinking wine. Yeah! I was like, wow. I'm the laundry, I can't, no. And so I said, so what about sex? Think about when you're like 12. Your mom said, do not do it. Especially if you're a girl, don't do it. Just don't do it. You don't want to do that. Nothing good's open after midnight, but you're like, just don't do it. And then your dad's like, you know, if you're a guy, your dad's like, just be safe, you know. But if it's your girl, your dad's like, I mean, don't do it till after you're married a couple of years. So your dad's like, just don't. And then one of your friends was like, it was the best thing ever. And then you have another friend that was like, it was horrible, it was so painful. And then someone else was like, oh, I got a situation after it, or, you know, I got a baby. So you're like freaked out. I mean, you're like, what is this whole sex thing? Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Then you meet like, you know, Mr. Romeo. And you're like, this is kind of interesting. Maybe I would do sex. And it's kind of like when you meet a chiropractor. I would say like a chiropractor like me, you know, because then I'm kind of thinking maybe I do chiropractic. Maybe it's not. My head's going to pop off, or I'm going to break my neck, or have a stroke, or become paralyzed, or, you know, mustard on my back, or whatever it is. But, oh, don't do that one yet. Okay, so then I said, you know, but then you have sex, and it may be a little awkward the first time, maybe even the second, but when you let go, it's like, what's up? Should have done this a while ago. And, I should not do it right, I guess. But I also say, you know, but sometimes you do, you have sex with someone, but you're like, that's not going to work. Just like when you have a chiropractor where it didn't work. But did you, you know, become celibate? No. You jumped back on the wagon and found someone, you're off again. So that's what chiropractic is. And when you do that to people, do you know what? I never have people say, I'm still not going to do it. They're like, that's true. I'm like, so you had sex. And I was like, I'm not telling you, like, dude, you're 52, you had sex. Because make a connection with people. Connect on them. I don't care what it is. I've learned about things I don't care about. I have a patient who gets in full armor and like hits swords with people. He flies to Pennsylvania every year and does this. So I learned about it. Why? But I had to know like what drives him, because that's all he loves to do. He does a union worker and gets dressed up in full armor and sword fights. I'm like, So I watched a bunch on YouTube and I could talk to him. I'm like, dude, I saw this one YouTube video where he's like swording him to death. And I mean, that's a connection. So now a bunch of these sword fighters come to me and I'm like, hey, you know, I learned about UFC. That's creepy, but I learned about it. It scares me. But I learned about these things to make a connection. So I only have a couple slides left, but I'm going to talk to you guys about joy. Because I was talking to my friend Janice, who's a phenomenal female chiropractor. I said, what do you think it is about me that is like makes me me? She said, you have joy. Like when I think of you, I think of joy. And I was like, oh, that's good, like joy to the world or, you know, Christmas songs. I didn't even know if I knew what joy meant. I don't even know if you guys know what joy meant. Like we all know what joy is, right? But do you really know the definition of joy? So I Googled it. I Googled a lot. I actually like to learn, even though I'm not an analytic, I like to know a lot of things. So it's a deep feeling or condition of happiness or contentment. How many of us are really happy and content? I mean, I'm so happy and content. I would have spoke tonight if it was just me. I just come here and like, how you doing, Doctor? I'm good. It's good to talk to you. Because I have fun with myself. I really love myself. And not in an arrogant way. Like, I just think I'm fun. I woke up at his house laughing the other day because I have such a fun life. It was so funny. It's by myself, 6:20, just laughing. I mean, I'm sure Jeb was like, what is going on next door? Because it's funny. Life's fun. You know, something causing such a feeling, a source of happiness. Like, do you guys have a source of happiness? I have so many sources of happiness. Like my friends, like God, like my chiropractic, like everything that is life is so much joy for me. Like I don't have any time to feel negative. You know, I was talking to Mikhail about the word love. Like in the book The Power by Rhonda Burns, she says love is the most powerful thing in the world. And if you feel love, so just so you know how cold it is where I am, the snow froze into like pallets of ice. So I'm getting out of my car, thank God it's an SUV. Get out of my bag, I shut the door, and I slide down the car, under the red car. And I was like, love, love, love! Oh, love. And the lady at the little shuttle bus is like, so I'm like under my car, hanging onto the wheel, and I'm like, love! And I'm like, then of course I say, this is the last time I'm living here, and I'm like stomping, and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, just help me with my bags. And it's like, because I wanted to say like everything else, but I always say that like, I don't know if I can cuss, it's not really a cuss word, but if you say shit, you feel like it, so say love and you'll feel like it. I wanted to say so many things as I was under that car in that pile of snow. It would not have been healthy. And I would not have helped the lady in the shuttle because I would have given her that negative, you know? So I'm sure she told everyone had so much love from this crazy white chick with like under the car screaming love. But I mean like, I didn't know what else to do. And but it's like, because I just, you feel love, you know, guys, love's the highest vibration. You don't give out love and have a terrible day. That's why I just give love out everywhere I go. I mean, I told Mikhail I was giving this to myself in Starbucks today. Just going through it, making sure I knew what was going on, because sometimes I get sidetracked. I'm just talking to myself, to my computer, I'm like, so joy. And people are like listening to me, and hey, one guy goes, can you turn your Bluetooth off? I'm like, no, I'm just talking to myself about chiropractic. So this deaf guy says to me, I have really good hearing, I can hear you, you're doing a good job. I was like, thanks, buddy. I gave him your number, too. This is right by your office, I was giving him your number.
Sweet.
Just talking about chiropractic, and like, why? I'm like, because I'm going to go talk to chiropractors. Which brings me to a point that I know what I was going to talk about when I do it now. I said something to my practice members the other day, because so when I go do talks in offices, they get that. Because like, so you're going to go because people are dying. Because I don't just tell you guys something that people are dying and go home, oh, people are okay. Let your friends know they're okay. I said, people are dying. Tell your friends. They're dying like flies. You know, Mr. McDonald shoveling snow, everybody's dying. And so I said, you know what's really sad is, and I literally have tears in my eyes because I'm an emotional person, if you can't tell. So I have some tears in my eyes and I said, because chiropractors are dying. And that's really the truth. And some of you in this room maybe, definitely call me if you are, because I will get you out of the slump. I'll be your cheerleader. I'll be at 5 in the morning like, what's up? But you know, chiropractors are dying. And that's why we do this, right? That's why we do this thing. That's why I fly from the snow, not just because it's cold, but because I want to be here and I want to touch someone's life, even if it's just one of you, or if you know someone who say, hey, you should call Dr. Martha, right? Because I've been to every chiropractic office in my town. Some people have not let me in. Some people will not talk to me because I do crazy chiropractic. You know, we don't have walls. We have half walls. But it's an open square, so you can see in them. And so I'm very different where I live. Almost everyone does pain-based. I've had to tell people that if they want to get cracked 12 times on the road, to go get cracked, and they're allowed to come back after they get cracked 12 times. Because only 3 of us do what I do. And I'm the only one that does it really well. And I don't say that braggingly, I say that very sadly. And I've begged them. Some of them will go to lunch with me. I call chiropractor every week. I've cycled back through. Because sometimes I get, bored with getting hung up on or something, so I'll call a few. Because I'm going to keep calling them. Probably even after I move, which I'm even selling my practice because I'm just ready for something new. I know someone's going to buy it, but I'll probably still call them and be like, hey, next time I'm in town, like at Thanksgiving, I'm going to come over to my house for Thanksgiving. Because I'll do whatever it takes to make sure someone loves them. Because they don't know what I know. They don't have the friends I have. Like that guy on Facebook, he must not know what I know. And I wrote that to him, like 2 paragraphs of, you must not know what I know. Like we tell our patients, right? If you knew what I knew, you do what I do. Like these chiropractors don't know what I know, or they would not be doing what they're doing. Because 12 visits every now and then and a crack here and there will not help anybody. We know it won't. But yet some of us will do it. And that's like, well, where's the congruency with that issue? I mean, how often do you get adjusted? Like if it's every now and then fine, do every now and then. But I don't think a lot of you do that. So keep going is an outward show of pleasure or delight, rejoicing. And that's what it is when you're being weird. You're like showing your joy and your delight. No one really thinks you're weird. They actually wish they could be you. Because a lot of people can't do that. They can't feel joy. They wish they were you. They tell you they think they're weird because they don't even realize what they want. They don't realize how bad they want to be you. But they really want to be you. And on Facebook, like I'm so weird and so out there and just truthful about everything I do. People write me and say thank you. Like people that aren't even chiropractors. They didn't even know it was okay to be happy. Because does the media in the world tell them it's okay to be happy? Like, no, you're going to die slowly, so maybe you can just tape it up along the way. So like when people hear my story, I share my story all the time that my mom died, that my stepmom was the opposite of an awesome mother. Okay, that I went through divorces and I watched my family suffer. And I don't say that because I want people to go, oh, Dr. Martha. Because I don't. I want them to go, wow, she did it. Because I didn't do it for a little bit. I wasn't as bad. Like I didn't, press myself and sit on the street and go, my life sucks. I didn't do that. But I definitely thought, well, I'm pretty good for how I was, how I could be. But then I just one day said, screw that. I'm just going to go crazy. I'm going to live the life God intended me to live, which was not to be, I'll see like 30 people a week if they come. Does that make sense? So you guys, let it go. Let all those stories go and feel the joy you're supposed to feel. Don't let anything suppress the joy you have. It's intense. I'm intense, so I really like that. Number 5, intense and especially ecstatic or exultant happiness. 5 might be my favorite. I mean, I'm intense with exultant happiness. I might start telling people, how are you intense with exultant happiness? How are you? An expression or manifestation of such a feeling. Because, I mean, I have so much joy that I literally started a student program because I want students to not be where some of us get, right? I want them to not have that gap in the between where they graduate and then, what they said to me when I graduated, half of you will not practice. And in 5 years, 5% of you will practice. Okay, here's your diploma, have fun. That's freaking awesome. I mean, like, who says that? And like, where I went to school, they actually said things like, you have to accept the insurance to go back. Don't bill over 12 visits because no one will come. I mean, that's what they're telling them. So, like tomorrow I'm going to go to LACC in the morning and speak and tell them that all of that's not true and probably not get asked back. I told Matt, he's like, they must not know you. I'm like, well, I'm going to make sure I light a big fire tomorrow, like a bonfire, and just go for it. So, I might just stand in the quad and talk all day until they leave. Will someone come get me? Can I get a cell phone? So, Janice Hughes said this, how you live one day is how you live your life. You guys, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're half-assed with something, you're half-assed with anything else. Like we were talking about, I'm intense with everything I do. Like with our friendship, like even my dogs. I mean, my dog had like a little bit of liver cells that were wrong. He's like organic dog walks, fish oils. I mean, he's the healthiest dog in the world. We lost 14 pounds. We are so healthy, so intense. I know at PetSmart, he's like, I just want to be around other dogs and normal people because my mom is intense. I mean, I brush my teeth. I was telling Michaela, do you know when I wake up in the morning? So my staff, during the snowstorm, she couldn't even drive home. The county roads got shut down. This is a snowstorm, right? It's a blizzard. And so she stayed in my house. And so the 3rd day she was there, we got up to go to work. And I get up at 4:45 and I sit quietly for 5 minutes. So she said, I heard the alarm go off, but it was just quiet. And then all of a sudden, so I walk, and this is every morning, I put my coffee pot in the morning. I'm like, today's a great day, and I'm so excited. I'm the best version of myself. I love you, Dr. Martha. Love this life I live. I'm going to adjust people, save lives, and going full out today. I said it a few times. Just add stuff. Scream it really loud. And my CA is like, that was the scariest thing. She thought I was yelling at her. She didn't even know I was doing it. But I do that every day. Like every day that I'm going to go to my practice, I do that. Because I don't want to go and I'm like, hey guys, oh my God. I'm like, when they walk in, I'm like, hey guys, we play dance music. I'm like, what's up? Turn your power on. And they're like, at first they were just like, is this happening? And I'm like, it's happening. Just embrace it, go with it. Because sometimes I say to myself, did that just happen? I say something, I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Gotta get out of it now. But I mean, you have to be that way, you guys. Just be full out, be intense. Like, if you don't believe it and say these things, you're not, I mean, who's gonna psych you up? In my town? I mean, if I left it to other people to do that for me, I would not be here today. I'd be sitting at home like, oh, I'm so, can't get to the airport. You know, because that's, people are always like, God, you're so happy. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. You should try it on for some time. You know, I stare at them, and they feel awkward, like, okay, because they don't know what else to do. This is my favorite all-time quote, and I'll probably end with this, but then I could keep going. I don't really know. It just depends how I do things. But I'm a little pencil in the hand of a writing God who is sending a love letter to the world. It's like, what's your love letter like? Is your love like, well, I got up today, you know, I got, it's like an okay day, my life is okay. I helped some people, and like I did that, and his insurance didn't cover it, so I told him he couldn't. I mean, is that your love letter? Because that's what some people say to me. Like, I coach a few people right now, which I love doing. Because I just sometimes repeat back what they say, and they're like, why would you say that to me? Why did you say that to yourself? Like, my CA would be an awesome chiropractor. Ricky would be an awesome chiropractor. Katrina would be an awesome chiropractor. They would be awesome chiropractors because they have awesome chiropractors who have taught them, and they know what it takes. I'm not CA, so I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to, if there's like a CA and some chiropractors, like, go ahead, try to adjust me, because it's just like, I would rather you touch me with love and attempt it than someone who doesn't get it touch my spine. Does that make sense? I'd rather have a really purposeful person give me an okay adjustment than a really purpose-driven person give me a yucky adjustment. Does that make sense? Or a really great adjuster, sorry, give me a great adjustment. And that's just how I live my life. You know what I mean? I'm full out and I want someone full out to touch my spine. So, you guys, I came tonight to talk to you, not to impress you with anything, but to impress upon you the need to be the best version of yourself. Because we're really missing that. It's not going to be something that you buy that's going to make you better. There's things that are going to enhance your practice, but like it's the application of those things that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like the Facebook generator, I think it's awesome, but like if you just get that and put it on your Facebook, that's not going to do anything for you, right? You have to put the heart behind it, you have to put yourself behind it, you have to utilize it and do those things, you know, because then it's an awesome tool and we're utilizing it. It's something that people will see. I guarantee you when my video gets done, because I utilize my page. I never put on my page, like when I see people go, oh my God, today's such a bad day. I spilled ketchup, then oh my God, people pray for me. Pray about the ketchup on your shirt. I'm going to pray about your comment. I've had people kick me off Facebook. I feel like that's such an honor. I'm like, you're a little too happy. Awesome. It's awesome. I love it. You're too weird. Good. Like, because I can't read their pages. It freaks me out. But I keep them on there because it's not going to help to run away from them. It's only going to help to combat what they're saying and say something like, really? You're upset about ketchup you spilled 3 days ago? I've seen people upset, like, for days about things. So, you guys, I hope you had fun. I had a really good time coming and talking to you. If you want to talk afterwards, that's awesome. You can email me because you're never alone. I hate when people hear people say they're alone on Facebook. That's my connection to Facebook. But you're not alone. You know what I mean? Like, we're all here for you. Like, there's a lot of great chiropractors in the room. I'm really lucky to have some of the world's most awesome people in my life. I've had so much fun in 3 days. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to California. I may explode on the way to California. Sandra and Sens are in the car, just blow up, and pieces of Dr. Martha all over California.
All right, Sandra's driving.
Yeah, it's Sandra's car. Don't tell her she didn't come tonight. I'll get her back. Pee in her car just to get her back. But
That's skinny about your hometown?
which one?
I don't know.
Oh, I'll just go with him. I mean, it's just like my hometown. Like, so, for example, the clothes I wear. That's always an issue. I had on a little gray sweater the other night that was super cute. Everyone's telling me, and this is what my patient says, you're so weird. So I say, because I'm always weird. That's a big, I should call myself weird chiropractic. I'm like, what is it now? That sweater, like, only you could wear that. What is that? That statement's never flattering. That's something you wear. I'm like, where'd you get that? Because we only have a limited in JCPenney. We actually have a Macy's, but when I say Macy's, people get confused about Macy's. Okay? Because you think in like the high-end Macy's. But I actually called Macy's because when we got a Macy's, I was like, this is awesome. It's not awesome because there's three. There's an A, a B, and a C. The C is just a C. That's what it is. I mean, it's not an A. And it's very different. Like I went there to get, I was like, my favorite BCBG shoes, they have them every year, and I always get a new pair every few years. Do you have, oh, we don't get that big of a gym. I can't make this stuff up. And I just stand there like, oh, I live here. And I mean, there's weird things like, why don't you eat gluten? What is wrong with wheat? I'm like, well, it actually kills people, and people are allergic to it, and 1 in 133 people are allergic to it. You're making that up. No, I'm not. People just found out about fish oil in my town, so that was a good back office thing, because they're like, we heard about fish oil. There's also krill. I'm like, yeah, they've been around for a while. They're actually, back in the days of Noah's Ark, there was all kinds of fish, and now we actually use the oils, and they're like, that is so weird. It's like, I see it, I mean, like nano greens, I can only sell like 4 cans a month. People are like, it's green. I'm like, I know, it's so good for you. It's gross, and because they're toxic. I've had women spit vitamins in front of my office. Because I now have to, because I have to give them a couple and say, can you swallow them? Oh, they're gross, I throw up. And they wonder why their kids are fat little toxins running around. I actually, I'm serious. Like, I have a McDonald's that's 1.5 years in a jar. No, like, she bought that yesterday. I eat McDonald's every day. Did I not? Ask a patient emailed me at their house. Is this okay? He found out about Subway. And he said, Dr. Martha, I eat Burger King every day and Hardee's. Go to Subway, what's that? I mean, I don't even know how he didn't know. And so he emails me about salami and cheese on bread, and then he had chicken and mayonnaise. And I'm like, well, it's got to be an improvement. I mean, but he didn't even know what it was. Like, this is really where I live. And so, I mean, don't tell me, oh, I can't do it in San Diego. Right, yeah. I mean, seriously, I mean, I've never seen anything like it with my practice members. I mean, so if I can do it in my town where people are like completely blown away at vegetables, you can definitely do it over here where people want a healthier life. Seriously. And if you want more stories, I could probably think of them. My staff can tell you even better ones because they're like, she didn't come in. I had a guy call for an appointment. I wish Mackenzie was here. I'm asking, do you want me to pick you up anything at the convenience store? So Mackenzie says, which she's so funny, Mad Dog 2020 in a bag of smokes. She thought it was a joke. I did too. I mean, this is where I live, so I don't know why I'm moving right.
How do we find your shirts?
Oh, www.naexpressions.com. And they're fun. You guys like the CAs that wear them and chiropractors. Don't tell me. People will ask them questions in the store. Like, what does that mean? Like, what's a spizorectum? That's the best one. People are like, that's a sphincter? I'm like, yeah. And it says anus too. It's a collection. But
Hey, and you can custom make them too.
oh
for your
yeah,
practice.
I can do your logo.
Nice.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
they're fun, aren't they?
Bling, baby.
They're fun, bling all over. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be here for a while. I'll be doing a comedy skit later. And my blue Mustang will travel around. But it's been a lot of fun, so thanks guys.